Rebecca Park was 22 years old. Officials say she was about 38 weeks pregnant when she disappeared. And here's the detail that makes this case hit differently. The last place she was reportedly seen was at the home of her biological mother. Days away from giving birth, last seen at her biological mother's house, then gone. This horrible tragedy happened in northern Michigan in Wexford County. It's a place with long stretches of forest roads and 2 tracks where a timeline can vanish fast. And in cases like this, investigators lock onto 3 things: where someone was last seen, what the phones show, and whether the story stays the same. Before we go further, a quick warning. This case involves allegations of extreme violence and pregnancy loss and murder. I'm keeping this coverage non-graphic and focused on verified reportings and court filings. Keep in mind this case is ongoing, so everyone charged is presumed innocent until proven guilty in court. Now here's the timeline as publicly reported. Rebecca Park was last seen on Monday, November 3rd, 2025. On November 4th, 2025, Rebecca's sister reported her missing and said that she was last seen at her biological mother's home in Boone Township. Early reportings say that Courtney Bartholomew, the biological mother, claimed that Rebecca left and got into a black vehicle with tinted windows. But as this case developed, investigators focused on changes in statements and how the timeline really lined up. Rebecca was reported missing, search efforts expanded, days turned into weeks. Then, on November 25th, Rebecca Park's body was found in a wooded area connected to the Manistee National Forest region. Officials also said she was no longer pregnant. That's when this case stopped being a search for a missing person and became a homicide investigation. On December 2nd, 2025, Michigan's Attorney General announced that 2 people were arraigned in connection with Rebecca Park's death. Those 2 people were Courtney Bartholomew and Bradley Bartholomew. Bradley Bartholomew is Courtney's husband, who has no biological relation to Rebecca. According to the Attorney General, both defendants were charged with first-degree murder and felony murder. They were also charged with torture and conspiracy to commit torture. They were charged with unlawful imprisonment, and they were charged with assault on a pregnant individual causing miscarriage or stillbirth, along with conspiracy for that assault charge. They also faced a misdemeanor charge for removal of a dead body. Those charges tell you how prosecutors view this case. Not like an accident, not a misunderstanding, but something they believe involved control, confinement, and extreme harm.
They brought Rebecca Park to their home. They forced her into a vehicle and took her into the woods where they stabbed her, forced her to lie on the ground while they cut her baby out of her, ultimately causing her death and the death of the baby. This is as heinous and as awful a case as it could be.
And this is where the case becomes hard to even process.
And tonight we're learning new horrific details behind the death of a young mother and her baby. Fox News' Jessica Dupnack is here in studio with the latest for us tonight. Jess?
Roop, this horror story all unfolding up north in Wexford County. Gasped in the courtroom today in Cadillac as new details came to light. 22-year-old Rebecca Park went missing in early November, and she was about to give birth. Today, her biological mom and stepdad charged in her murder. We do want to warn you, this is incredibly graphic.
Case, we had 2 individuals that created a plan. They conducted research. They brought Rebecca Park to their home. They forced her into a vehicle and took her into the woods.
Both Courtney and Bradley Bartholomew charged with murder and 7 other felonies each. They were denied bond. We learned officially in court Tuesday Rebecca Rebecca's baby was killed, although a body has not been found. Rebecca's body was discovered in the forest near where she was last seen, just outside of Cadillac. That was last week. While she was missing, Rebecca's bio mom did TV interviews pleading for her daughter's safe return. Now Rebecca was adopted at 1 year old. Her adoptive mother says Rebecca leaves behind two boys, 2 and 3 years old, that are in her care. But the big question tonight is, why did this all happen?
Yeah, why and how could someone who says that they're a mother even get close to hurting their own child and a grandchild at that point?
In the weeks that followed the disappearance, court documents said investigators focused on inconsistent statements and digital evidence, which includes the evidence surrounding phone data and the importance of where devices appeared to be during key windows of time in the case. In cases like this, the question always becomes, do the statements match the timeline? And if they don't, what explains the gap? This case also includes other legal threads that have created a lot of confusion online. So let's keep them clearly separated. Local reporting say that Kimberly Park, Rebecca Park's biological sister, faced charges connected to lying to police, tampering with evidence, and making a false report. Local reportings also note that Rebecca's fiance, Richard Failer, appeared in court on drug-related charges in a separate matter. These are separate legal tracks. They matter for context, but they are not the same thing as being convicted in the homicide case. Currently, as of mid-December 2025, the Bartholomew's case is still in the discovery phase, which means that the state and the defense are exchanging evidence and preparing for what comes next. If you're seeing rumors online, be careful, because officials warn that misinformation has been spreading as this investigation progressed.
Community is rallying to support a family devastated by a horrific tragedy. Fundraisers are now springing up all over Wexford County after police discovered the body of a pregnant woman in Manistee National Forest, and her baby was nowhere to be found. Rebecca Park went missing just days before she was set to give birth. Rebecca's biological mother, Courtney Bartholomew, and her stepfather, Brad Bartholomew, are both accused of taking her into the forest and stabbing her to death and cutting the baby out of her body. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Ty Steele. As Park's loved ones are waiting for justice, neighbors are banding together to help Rebecca's family and the 2 children she leaves behind. Noelle Friel caught up with one organizer tonight. She joins us live in the newsroom. Noelle, it's truly unthinkable what this husband and wife are accused of doing to their daughter.
Yeah, it is, Ty. That's right. Prosecutors describe this case as evil personified. It's baffled community members trying to make sense of such a grisly crime where so far no motive has been disclosed. Now the community is stepping up to support Rebecca's family in any way they can. Communities in northern Michigan and beyond are rallying around the loved ones of Rebecca Park. The 22-year-old mother leaves behind 2 sons, now being cared for by her adoptive parents. A GoFundMe started to support her 2 boys has already raised more than $5,000.
It means a lot to the family to know that there are people out there who support us and supported Rebecca in this horrible, horrible situation. And that feel for her children, because this is not going to be easy for any of the kids involved.
A vigil will take place Saturday evening in Boone Township, near where Rebecca's body was found. In nearby Manton, Cedar Creek Cafe is planning a spaghetti dinner fundraiser to support the family. Restaurant owner Martha Snyder says Rebecca stopped by the restaurant with her fiancé shortly before her death. She says Rebecca was looking forward to the birth of her son, who she planned to name Richie.
We spoke about her pregnancy, how far along she was, that she was due in November.
She says the news of Rebecca's gruesome death has rocked their quiet community.
I have never heard of anything so horrendous in my life. Most everyone I know has never heard of anything so evil or horrendous in their lives. So I think that in and of itself speaks volumes. It's unconscionable. It's unimaginable. And it is evil.
Snyder feels fortunate to have met Rebecca through their chance encounter. She's now trying to offer consolation to her family in the only way she knows how.
It just seemed like the only thing to do. And it also seemed like the only way for people to be able to get together and support one another through it.
Rebecca's biological mother and stepfather appeared virtually in court this week, where they were denied bond. They're both charged with first-degree murder and torture, among other charges. We have the link to support Rebecca's children in this story at clickondetroit.com.
At the center of this case is a young woman who should still be here and an unborn child who never got a chance. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, share, and comment down below what you think about this case. Stay safe out there. Thank you for watching.